What's up, everyone? It's your host, Ghost, coming to you with another wonderful video. Um, how's everyone doing? Don't think anyone's actually watching me live, but that's okay. When you're watching this recording, I'm going to ask you, how you doing? Um, I just got a couple topics today. We're going to look at some more of the Jonah Hill drama, some more trans stuff. The Manson family, a Manson family murderer was released, and then we're gonna watch the Ashoka trailer. So it's gonna be a shit day. I don't even have to watch this trailer to know that show's gonna be shit. All right. Um. But yeah. Before I get started, just make sure to like and subscribe the video. Like and subscribe to the video. If you're on Rumble, follow me on Rumble. Make sure you make sure you follow me on Twitter at official W Ghost. The banner's right there underneath, and then not game, with Ghost on both YouTube and Rumble. Preferably Rumble. I seem to get a lot more traffic there. So if you're on Rumble and you're watching me, give me a follow. Just help me out there. I know I don't make the best videos, but just I do well enough that I get a lot of views. So you should, well, I mean, a lot. I guess 100 and some odds aren't a lot of views, but still, just get, if you click on it, just give me a little follow, a little like. That's all I ask for. And then I do of course have my gaming channel, Gaming with Ghost, official game. That's on Rumble and Kick, and then official Gaming with Ghost on the Twitch. So check me out there. Been playing Spider-Man. Yeah. All right. So well, let's get into the topic. We're gonna look at some more of the Jonah Hill dramas. So wait, hold on. Okay. Oh yeah. So not only are we going to look into basically a response he did. I don't know if it's like a direct response from what just happened. It doesn't look like it to me. But it is it was basically his response to his ex-girlfriend. Sorry. Like he responded to his girlfriend, whatever, at some point. And then it turns out, sorry, I got distracted. I'm looking at this shit, getting this thing up. But also, it seems like another thing that just happened the other day, yesterday, I guess, was that Alexa Nicholas accused Jonah Hill of forcing himself on her when she was 16 and he was 24. I guess she started Zoe 101. I don't know, whatever that show was. But anyways, so we'll look at that, and then on the trans stuff, we got some crazy. Oh, okay. Wait. Okay, this guy's okay. This okay. I gotta change my description on this. Can I do that right now? Because I was incorrect when I made my description because I wasn't really paying it that much attention. To the transgender woman. It's a transgender woman or female, which is he has a uterus so he can have an abortion. Turns out it's just a trans activist, or I don't know. Maybe it is a trans. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But we'll give that a check. We'll check that out, and see what the fucking deal is. Because now I'm confused. Just changing stuff. Just fixing things. All right, cool. So, and then let's see. Leslie Von Houten. She was part of the Manson family. Uh, she was a follower of the Manson family. She was released yesterday or on Tuesday. Yeah, yesterday. So we'll look into that, see what that was all about, and then of course, like I said, we'll watch the Ahsoka trailer that just dropped 20 hours ago, so yesterday, and I don't know, it's probably gonna be garbage. Just saying. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, okay, cool. This is the one. Sweet. All right. So, for those who don't remember, I just did a video on this the other day. Oh my god, I can't. It's terrible. I did a video on this the other day. Jonah Hill and his partner or his ex-girlfriend, or sorry, his ex-girlfriend decided to, hey, I'm going to post I'm going to post screenshots bitching or screenshots of you setting a boundary and call you controlling. That's basically what ended up happening. And so and I'm gonna and apparently she posted like a bunch of their conversations or whatever. So yeah, so that's the basics background. And if for people who don't remember, his basic boundaries was, I don't want you to surf with men. I don't want you to put sex pictures of yourself on the internet. I don't want you to. See, it was so innocuous. I can't even fucking remember. Oh, I don't want you to hang out with your unstable single girlfriends. I don't want you to have unboundaries or friendships with men that are, not that don't have any boundaries, etc., etc. Basically, that he's basically. I know those were mentioned. I feel like I'm missing one, but that's basically what he said. Was hey, I don't like Basically, he outlined what he didn't like, and her response was, I'm going to post all about this. A year later, and try and call him controlling. So yeah. Anyways, so apparently this popped up. I don't know, like if this happened before or during all this. I'm just seeing it for the first time. Thanks to Camelot 331. Shout out to him. Is the only reason I'm seeing it, and he did that. So that's the only reason I'm seeing it. So I don't know if it's something that was been out there or not, but we're gonna look at it. All right, screenshotting. I'm pretty sure screenshotting, he spelled that wrong. Oh, well, intimate text between us is a huge triggering violation for me and breach of trust as a friend, as I have explained to you about breaches of trust I have had between trusted friends recently that have caused me trauma. I am incredibly hurt and feel a lack of safety where I have always trusted you. I'm sorry if a former partner moving on is painful, and I empathize with that, but I have done nothing wrong, and if I wasn't a public person, I wouldn't face this kind of violation, and having shared that with you and then watching you be like this today shatters my ability to trust anybody even further. I have always shown you kindness and support. So that's his response. Now, first, dude sounds like a bitch. He sounds like it's a triggering violation. Every time I hear the word triggering, it makes me immediately think that the person using the word is just a bitch, a wimp, a loser. And yes, I'm well aware Jonah Hill's famous movie star, multimillionaire, a lot better than me, etc. But when you say triggering, you sound like a bitch to me. Okay. So that's the first thing. But there's nothing wrong with him, like, telling his his ex how he feels and stuff. But just the words he's using just make me feel like, see, I'm feeling it too. But he just sounds like a bitch to me. He sounds like a giant bitch. He's not like, he's not a man. It's like, hey, look, I don't like that you just screenshotted our text. Like, how a guy should have been, how he should have gone about it is like, look, I don't like that you screenshotted all our text and then posted it online and everything. and it's kind of fucked up. And although you're trying to attempt to paint me in a bad light, I'm obviously getting a lot more support about this. So if you could just please stop and we can just both go about our lives, that'd be great. Something like that. But like this whole screenshotting intimate text between us is a huge triggering violation for me. You just sound like a bitch, dude. But anyways, all right. And that so that's the first part. Second part is, yeah, it's pretty obvious she's like has some sort of issues that he's moved on. I guess he has a new girlfriend with a kid and everything, so she's obviously feeling like shit. Did my yeah. Well, hello Rumble if you're just catching me now. But anyways, um, but yeah, oh shit, I forgot I needed to do something else. But yeah, he's just like it's text. But anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Uh, anyways, uh, besides being a huge bitch, um, yeah, it's pretty clear. I think to everyone that is like looking at this, it's pretty clear that she's upset that he moved on and like kind of just like said deuces to her. Not really like say deuces, but he pretty much had moved on to whatever her influence was over him, and she's kind of upset about it because he moved on. And she sounds like it seems like she's kind of stuck in the past and is trying to, in my opinion, she's trying to get attention again via Jonah Hill by posting all this stuff. But honestly, it just makes her look like a shitty person. I think a lot of people are seeing that she's just a shitty person. And nothing he says is really abusive. He's honestly acting like a bit of a bitch to me. But anyways, yeah. So that was his response. Like I said, I'm not sure if this was just part of, if this was just part of the like the text that she launched, because apparently this is from our Instagram and this says 8/31/22. So I don't know, maybe she sent all this stuff before, like to other people. But anyways, that's that part. That's the Jonah Hill ex-girlfriend drama. So we're done with that. Now we're gonna go into this other stuff. Bring pop up first. All right. So hold on. So this came yesterday. Zoe 101 star Alexa Nicholas accused Jonah Hill of forcing himself on her when she was 16 and he was 24. Interesting. Look, obviously, any raping, sexual assault is terrible. You shouldn't do it. You're a terrible human being if you do it. I find it always interesting when stuff like this comes about, when either the person's in a controversy of quote unquote being emotionally abusive, all of a sudden, oh hey look, yeah, I waited, how old is Jonah Hill now? Jonah's 39, so she's saying she decided to speak up after 15 years. But it just so happens to be in the midst of all this controversies he's having because of his ex-girlfriend. Okay, well let's see what she oh shit, what the fuck? Oh, let's see what she said. All right. After reading Sarah Brady's admirable post about hashtag Jonah Hill, I gotta say, when I was 16, I got invited to a house party at Justin Long's house where he was living for some lame predator actor from CSI Miami. I'll look up the name later and find him. Hashtag Jonah Hill seemed to have his eyes on me because at one point I wanted a cig and he said he had one in the car right outside. Didn't seem like too much of an effort, so I trusted him. I went outside and he grabbed the cigs from his front seat. Hashtag Jonah Hill didn't had me a cig, which I thought was weird. And then as we walked back to the door. I asked him for it, and he said nothing but slammed me to the door, shoved his tongue down my throat. I was so appalled, I pushed him off me and ran inside. Okay, so that's her story. And I call it a story because I think as a lot of guys, a lot of people are starting to, you know, are starting to uh, think and see is we're really having a hard time believing these chicks. It's been 15 years, and now in the midst of this, controversy, suddenly, this was when she wanted to talk. Not 15 years ago, where what she's accusing him is sexual assault of a minor, very serious crime. She doesn't say shit before, and it's Jonah Hill. He was a fat, yes, he was a Hollywood star, but he was a fucking fat ass dude. Okay. And, him being like an A-list celebrity or anything like that wasn't really, something. So it's not like, she had the fear of repercussions by accusing an A-list celebrity of, SA. But no, she doesn't say anything until yesterday when all this controversy about his ex-girlfriend. It just seems to me someone who's let's see, what has she been in recently? I'm just looking up, seeing what she's been in recently. Okay. So the last thing that's 23. Yeah. So the last thing she was in was an episode of Mad Men, Windy, episode The Crash, 2013. That was the last thing she's been in, and she's never been in like a lot of like leading roles. She just seems to be side characters. That's what it seems to me. And then that's TV show, okay. And then the last movie she was in, it was in Detention of the Dead. Okay. And like the only movie that like had like any like big names was Zoolander. Now, so that's what I'm seeing here. So it just seems to me like a way to try and get some attention from a controversy of a major star. That's what it seems to me. So I'm very suspicious of any time like stuff like this comes out all of a sudden in the midst of a controversy. It just seems like, oh yeah, so since people are hating on this guy, let me jump in and accuse him of some shit. And I could be wrong. This could have 100% happened. If it does, that really sucked. But she waited 15 years. All right, it's so common that like something like this happens, and and then it's been XY years later. It's not like months later, it's years later, and not like 2 years. It's like double digit years, it seems, or at the very least high end single digit years. Then they say something about it. I feel like I talked about this before. I don't know. Anyways, so that's what she like tweeted out or whatever. Now it seems like Jonah Hill's lawyers called Alexa Nicholas' sexual misconduct claim a complete fabrication. So let's see what his lawyer says. Now, to be fair, of course that's what he's going to say. Of course that's what he's going to say. He's going to say it's a fabrication. It's a lie. It's not true. Of course he is. Why wouldn't of course that's what he's going to say. All right, so let's look at this, okay? But just because that would be what obviously he would say, doesn't make it any less true. I'm just double acting. All right, so Jonah Hill's legal team is firing back after a former Nickelodeon star accused the actor of sexual misconduct. In an interview with Page Six published Tuesday, Alexa Nicholas, who starred on the comedy drama Zoe 101 from 2005 to 2006, alleged that the 21 Jump Street star kissed her without her consent when she was 16 and he was 24. Hill's attorney, Martin Singer, called the story a complete fabrication in a statement. On Tuesday, USAA Today has reached out for Nicholas for comment. It never happened, Singer said, claiming the report was based on a source who is demonstrably unreliable. Your source is a serial accuser who has made all sorts of accusations against multiple men in the entertainment industry. That includes a claim she made for sexual assault against her ex-husband that she later voluntarily withdrew after she got some media attention. Okay, so apparently she's done this before. We'll see if that's true. I'll go do a quick Google search. Nicholas first shared her allegations on Twitter Saturday, writing that Hill shoved his tongue down her throat. All right, so she did this Saturday, and I'm just learning about this day. Okay. I was a child, so I obviously felt scared and angry. Sadly, this wasn't the first time I've been assaulted or objectified as a child. Okay, sure. Okay, so that's all of it. So let me just do a very quick Google search. Okay, so she did accuse her ex-husband. So I'm just looking, just reading more stuff. Okay, well, she definitely accused her ex-husband, and she's accused Jonah Hill. I'm not sure what the multiple times is because I'm not seeing anything else on it. But it appears she has a history of this, which obviously leads more credence to the fact that she's probably bullshitting. Honestly, I believe her as much as I believed. Oh, what's her name? I can't remember her name. That's how much I believe. Well, Mattress Girl. I believe her as much as I believe Mattress Girl. I believe her as much as Christina Blazing Ford, the Brett Kavanaugh accuser. I believe Alex. I believe that she's as truthful as Christina Blasey Ford or whatever her fuck her name is. So yeah, I don't fucking believe her. I just, I always find stuff like this highly, that's super coincidence and on the back of a controversy, always highly suspicious. And I think a lot of people are getting that way too. There's so many times where a false accusation happens and everyone believes it, and then all of a sudden it turns out it was bullshit. But the guys whose lives got ruined doesn't help them at all. And the women never suffer any ill effects, which I think we should change. I think the only way we're going to stop these false accusations is going to be if we start holding women accountable when they lie, verifiably lie. Like, get a text message. Like, I don't mean. Oh, sorry. I don't mean like if they accuse someone and then they and they sue them or something, and then they voluntarily withdraw it. I don't mean that. I mean, like, if we get verifiable evidence, like, her texting her friends like, oh, I'm totally lying about this stuff, I just want to get back at him, whatever. I think they should go to jail for such a heinous crime of lying and destroying a man's life, because a rape accusation will ruin a man's life. And regardless of what happens, generally, there's still a bunch of people who think you did it, even if the chick, even if it turns out the chick lied. So I think they should go to jail, probably as long as the guy was going to serve. And again, I'm only having that standard for when if we can verifiably prove that she was lying. All right, so let's go watch some crazy person. That's what we'll do next. This is from Lives of TikTok, and the premise is male trans activist fantasize about getting uterus transplant so he can get pregnant and get an abortion. The fuck?
The first trans woman to have.
Hold on. Okay, well, apparently you guys could have heard that, but I didn't. All right, so anyways, let's get to it. Let's watch this.
A successful uterus.
This guy's just
the first trans woman to have a successful uterus transplant, ovaries and eggs included. And I want to be the first trans woman to have an abortion. The first trans woman to have a
Okay, so he is a trans woman, or is he just trans? I'm so fucking confused. All right, whatever.
Successful uterus transplant, ovaries and eggs included. And I want to be the first trans woman to have an abortion. I will let a doctor who has successfully transplanted a uterine complex before cut the organs out of a willing, healthy, transmasculine donor, place them in my body. I will devote myself, heart and soul, to their aftercare. I will have as much gay sex as it takes with as many trans women as it takes, and let the transphobes and homophobes scratch their heads wondering what to make of it. And I want to be the first trans woman to have an abortion.
It's a really weird goal to have. That's a really weird goal to have. Not only that, so this dude, he wants to get a uterus transplant. I don't even think that's possible, honestly, for one. It could very well be. I have no fucking clue. I don't have one, and I don't need one. Neither does this dude. Neither does he. So I have no idea how that shit works. I don't know if that's possible. But, let's just say it is. Then he goes on to say, I want to, and then I will have a bunch of gay sex. And the way he makes it sound like is he's going to have sex with other trans women. So men that think they're women. And so they do all that shit to be women and all that stuff. Okay. And then he somehow is going to become pregnant by having sex with a bunch of trans women. And okay, I guess he is. It depends if their equipment's still there. If the trans women guys that he's fucking still have their dicks, then I guess obviously that would be possible. But also, dude, it doesn't require just a uterus to have a kid or to make a baby. You also got to have the ovaries. I don't know if he mentioned that stuff. But anyways, all right, say you get all that. Then the only reason you want this is so you can later on have an abortion. What kind of fucked up person is this? And this is the people that represent the trans community. It's guys like this guy. are just insane people that I don't know. And then first and foremost, okay, let's say that all happens. Here's the thing that these dumbasses don't understand. Having a kid doesn't just require having a uterus, having the ovaries, and all that stuff, and be able to carry it. It requires, for you to actually be a woman, you got to have the hips of a woman, and you got to have the birth canal. Now, obviously, they'll just do a C-section for someone who doesn't have that shit, but you're not a real woman if you don't have those shit. And I don't know of any women that I'm pretty sure even women that are infertile still have the birth canal and the hips, and everything like that, and the flexible bones or whatever or the birth canal to have the ability to push out a kid from their vagina, which is a crazy thing to see. Not gonna lie. But anyways, so this fucked up individual wants just to go through all that, just to get pregnant, just to kill his kid. Does that make any sense to anyone? Really? And if we have a problem with it, then we're transphobe and homophobe. Well, your only reasoning for getting a uterus and ovaries, I assume. I don't even remember if you mentioned getting ovaries too. But the only reason you want any of this stuff is just so you can kill a baby. And we're transphobes and homophobes for having an issue with that. These are the fucked up people that are on this side. And I think abortion is a horrible, horrible thing to do. Killing an innocent child just because of because look, everyone that whenever it comes to abortion, they're always bring up rape and incest and all that stuff. Granted, horrible crimes, horrible, horrible, horrible crimes. Okay. But 90 to 95%, I think it's 95% of all abortions, or if you just simplify it, is just due to inconvenience, whether it's low income, not being ready, etc., etc., etc. All the reasonings behind abortions, 95, I think it's 95% of them are just due to the fact that it's inconvenient to the woman at the time. And that's the worst part. If let's say this, if all abortions that happen were due to rape or incest, things of that nature, if those were the total amount of abortions, and those would be a low amount of abortions because those crimes they're low. They happen, but it's low. It's a low percentage that happen. I highly doubt you'd have very many people having issues with abortions. If it was just those type of things, I think you would have a lot. You would have the religious people who would have a problem with it. Of course, the Christians and all that stuff, they'd have a huge problem with it. Absolutely. But most normal people wouldn't have an issue if those were the only reasons behind the abortions. Now, I would think I can't even say that. I was going to say even the people that are actually pro-abortion would have an issue with it. I don't think there would. Okay, so there's the leftists on abortions. They'd agree with this. Then you get the left abortionists. They would be like, well, it's a woman's choice, blah 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 blah. So they would be okay with it because of some dumb rational. And then the middle people, which is where most people would have an issue, and onward, everyone else would have an issue. Because it's not because again, this is an intentional thing that he just wants to be pregnant just so he can abort it. Kind of fucked up individual is that? All right. God damn. All right. Oh, get canceled here. Trans women aren't real women. Trans men aren't real men either. Watch me get canceled. Or not, because I have such a low following. All right, let's go look into this because I'm done, discussing that fucking idiot, garbage human being. So, Charles Manson follower Leslie Van Houten Released from California prison. This was Tuesday. Released to parole supervision. What the? I don't. What the fucking fuck off, Fox News. No one cares, Fox News. All right. Leslie Van Houten, a follower of Charles Manson, was released from California prison on Tuesday. California Department of Corrections Rehabilitation spokesperson told Fox News that Van Houten was released to parole supervision on Tuesday. Van Houten will have a 3-year maximum parole term with a parole discharge review occurring after 1 year, the spokesperson said. Van Houten was 19 when she joined the Manson family and helped kill Leon LaBianca and his wife Rosemary in 1969. California Governor Gavin Newsom, who had stopped several efforts to release Van Houten, said he won't ask the state's Supreme Court to block her parole release. More than 50 years after the Manson cult committed these brutal killings, the victims' families still feel the impact. Newsom said in previous statements. Combined, Newsom and former California Governor Jerry Brown turned down 5 recommendations for parole since 2016. On May 31st, the state appeals court ruled in favor of Van Houten's parole by a 2-1 decision, noting extraordinary rehabilitation as efforts, insight, remorse, realistic parole plans, support from family and friends. Nancy Tretroll, Van Houten's attorney previously said she's thrilled and she's overwhelmed at the prospect of parole. She was just grateful that people recognize she's not the same person she was when she committed the murders. So Leon LaBianca's daughter, Corey LaBianca, said Van Houten's release is re-traumatizing. My family and I are heartbroken because we are once again reminded of all the years that we have not had my father and my stepmother with us, Corey LaBianca said. My children and my grandchildren will never got an opportunity to get to know them either, which has been a huge void for my family. Van Houten was handed a life sentence for her involvement in helping followers of the Manson family kill the LaBiancans. Oh, he died in 2017. Oh, sweet. I didn't realize Charles Manson died. Man, I really did not care that much about that guy. She would later describe holding Rosemary LaBianca down with a pillowcase on her head while other people stabbed her for stabbing the. Oh, okay. While other people stabbed her before stabbing the woman over a dozen times too. All right, so she was released. I wonder if I can just Google real quick why Gavin Newsom decided not to. Let's see. Okay, so apparently he didn't do it because he was lazy. He said, but will not pursue further actions as effort to further appeal are unlikely to succeed. So he's just lazy. Got it. Okay. All right. So that's that. So now let's get into something else that's terrible. Let's watch the Ashoka trailer. All right. I don't look for this. Let's look at this.
is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create. We are no Jedi.
I started hearing whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
I hate that. So, for those who don't know, Heir to the Empire, or something in that form, is a book that first introduced Thrawn to the Star Wars series. It's a really good book series. It's just really, really good, and this is what a lot of Star Wars fans thought should have been the sequel trilogy. Was just like the Heir of the Empire books, basically. So now they're trying to shoehorn in and have Ahsoka and Sabine and Hera, an all-female cast, again, to shove down our throats, to try and get us to nostalgia, but different shit.
Empire.
What happens when we find Thrawn?
Power, such as you've never dreamed.
I've spent most of my life fighting a war. That's why I'm trying to convince you to help me prevent another one. You and I both know who could help you with this.
She's still just as stubborn as ever.
I bet your master found you difficult at times.
Anakin never got to finish my training. I walked away from him, just like I walked away from Sabine.
You never made things easy for me, Master.
As a Jedi, sometimes you have to make the decision no one else can. But I'm counting on you to see this through.
Nice haircut. Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings.
Buckle up.
If we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain. You have no power.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
I'm not here to discuss my past.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
All right, so that's it. Dude, that looks so boring. It really looks so boring. I'm not hyped about it. I've been hyped for Star Wars stuff for a while now, since the sequel trilogy. Since that was a glaring disappointment. Mandalorian, the first season was okay. Book of Boba Fett, the first couple episodes was okay. But yeah, no, that looks so boring. And why is Sabine calling Ahsoka Master? It was. The thing is, it's an all-female cast, so it's going to be woke as fuck. Okay, let me rephrase that. It's not an all-female cast. It's an all-female superhero team up, whatever, or hero team up. You got Ahsoka, Hera, Sabine. And then that mural thing. Okay, yeah. First off, you didn't even make it look like human, the people it. I guarantee it's not going to look anything like the actor that plays Ezra and anything like that. And I bet the Sabine, it's just taking a copy and paste from the mural from Rebels. So it's going to look like stupid. Okay. But I guess it's a mural, so whatever. And then that Balin guy, whatever. Okay. How does he know Anakin? If he only knows, he's got to be a fallen Jedi. But I swear to God, if he knows Vader's Anakin, it's just going to show more proof that Disney just ruined Star Wars. Anyways, yeah, that doesn't excite me. Ahsoka trailer doesn't excite me. I've only watched one episode of The Secret Invasion, and it's really boring. It's all these movies that should be good or shows that should be good are just boring. They're so boring. All right. Well, that's the end of my, time here. Gonna go to bed and pretend I didn't just watch that crap for you guys. I hope you guys will like my video and give me a follow for suffering through watching that stupid Ahsoka trailer. And I like Ahsoka as a character. That she was really cool, in my opinion. But this show would look like shit. All right. I hope you all have a good day. Make sure you like and subscribe, and follow me on Rumble and YouTube, and follow me on Twitter at official W Ghost. All right. See you later. Peace out.